good afternoon. Before we actually get out to the theme for the conference, I would like to share with you a few interesting and exciting moments that I personally went through when we were discussing about, the concept of the theme in the ICT Academy office in Chennai, especially when the CEO, Shiv Kumar said that I should come forward and then do this post-lunch session. I was pleasantly surprised and also, accepted immediately, because the simple reason that I was very happy that I will be meeting the teaching fraternity of my own native place, where I started from my first standard and graduated from BSc Statistics, the same St. Joseph's College. Yes, so that was the very first. Any innovation happens in the technology, the first people who come to know about this is the set of CIOs and the CTOs. They are the business enablers. Therefore, they are expected to keep their eyes and ears open for emerging technologies and then bring in the technology within the corporate for the business to run smoothly. Secondly, also do that futuristic, innovative planning. Therefore, the business does not become relevant when scenarios changes. So that is when I approached Bobby, who is my senior in CSS Corp, with more than 13 years of experience in CSS itself, that why don't we put together a team of CIOs and CTOs. And that is when Bobby brought in the CIO Club of Chennai, where as many as 15 CIOs got onto a call with us, and they started deliberating with a lot of interest and involvement in terms of how we should go about preparing ourselves for this conference. So that was the second interesting and the exciting moment that I went through in this journey. The third one today especially is when I have my own professor sitting in front of me who taught me computer science. Yes, Dr. Muthu from St. Joseph's. And also when I have Mr. Srinivasan from Pavai, who was my mentor, who was my boss for more than 10 years in our previous organization. So these are the three interesting moments that I went through in this journey. Now, coming back to this theme and the concept, we were discussing between five of us as how we are going to basically take this session through. That is when we felt that there are a lot of information that has flown in this room right since the morning. And though we all have our own detailed presentations in terms of each of those emerging technologies or emerged technologies, we felt that let us set the ground first and then leave the floor open for questions. Yes. And you can feel free and then ask any kind of questions in any one of these emerged technologies. It can be social media, it can be mobility, it can be cloud, it can be big data, it can be anything. Any questions that comes to your mind, you can shoot. Believe me, the set of experts sitting here, they have already implemented this and they have thought through what would be relevant for the academia. Yes. So this is the format we thought that we should stick to. Hope is this okay with you? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Having said that, I would like to set the tone for this discussion. Whatever statistics you are seeing, it's all much talked about and discussed in several forums. But then one thing that I would like to mention is, they are all indicators, gaps, lagging indicators. Indicators, lagging indicators, which means they are not leading indicators, they are gaps. Yes? Which means, what are those leading indicators? See, these elements highlighted in red in terms of what is contributing to employability issues. I will call this as a consequence of the current ecosystem that we work in, which means the way we select students for admissions, the way we train them, the methodology that we follow, the way we assess them, the way we certify them. I would call them as consequences. But all of us know about it. So what is new about it is the question that you may have. But the perspective that we would like to bring in this discussion vis-a-vis those points is, how are we going to use the emerging or the emerged technologies to mitigate or overcome some of the challenges that are highlighted in red. Say for example, what are the top issues of the students who are passing out of the institutions today is conversational skills and communication skills. We all know about it. We all are trying to address this in our own ways. But within the context of this particular discussion, we are only trying to see if we bring in SMAC, the emerged technologies, is there any way by which our students will be able to come out of this gap or the deficiency over a period of time? That is the relevance that we are trying to establish. Similarly, we all have spoken about students not being able to logically think and solve problems. All of us know about this problem. But is there any way by which we can use any of these emerging technologies or the emerged technologies which will help students enhance their thinking ability? It came primarily in the manufacturing setups. The simplest definition of quality can be understood as fitness for purpose of any product that is produced by a factory. Fitness for purpose of any product produced by a industry. It can be as good as your mixie or a grinder. All these industries always had one quality department. They used to go and then sit at the end of the assembly chain. Remember, at the end of the assembly line, yes, they used to check and then classify them as tested okay, tested not okay. Tested okay are sent for sales. Tested not okay are either sent for rework or scrap. Okay, and somehow when all this was evolving, people felt that probably this is not the way we deal with quality. Yeah, because looking at the end product and then saying that it is not fit for purpose is not the right way of doing things, running the factory. So that is where the focus started shifting from product quality to that of the process quality, which means the set of processes that make the mixie or the grinder, let us check all those processes, let us define those processes, yes, put a metric to all those processes, monitor all those processes, see whether it is correctly producing the right result. The whole industry found that this method of shifting from product quality to that of the process quality. Now apply the same context in the education industry, where instead of mixies and grinders, we are producing students. Look at a situation where we are checking for quality at the end of 4th year, where it is measured today by the way of employability skills. Imagine a situation where we have to send them for rework or label them as scrap. So I personally believe that there is a strong need for us to look at the various processes that ultimately produce the so-called product from the institution, that is student. So it is with this context I would like to leave the floor. There are experts sitting here, and I would like to, collectively I can say one thing, that all the four put together is 120 years of IT infrastructure, CIO and CTO exposure and experience. Okay, and I'm not going to give an individual introduction. Okay. Thank you very much.